for them, but it is what it is. They have to find a way to start winning their games. They have been winning their games. They have to find a way to continue winning their games if they want to retain. They have to win the La Liga this season. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin, and I'm here with the 18 to talk about the FA Cup, the La Liga, and probably the Serie A today. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, dear listener. Happy birthday to our president. And I'm super excited for this weekend because of the games. I'm looking forward to seeing our game, and hopefully we get a win.
Hopefully we get a win. Good morning, Nonso. How are you?
Godwin, my team no dey now. We cannot happy talk.
At least,
if I want support person now, it's Fulham. Fulham or Nottingham Forest.
It's fine.
But it's all good. Welcome to the show, guys. It's an interesting weekend. We're tired of watching national football where it looks boring.
Yeah, so it started well, but
it didn't go well at the end. But now we're into the what's called the league proper. Last night was interesting. The league, the Dutch league, they were playing last night, and we're looking forward to seeing good games today as well.
Okay, let's see what happens today. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Bolt FM Sports. We are live now. You can go there, drop your comments. I will be reading your comments live here in the studio. Remember, we are live every day, 8 a.m. sharp. We are live, and let's join us, drop your comments. I'll be glad that you join us on our YouTube live. Probably from next week, you can even join. We will join to the Facebook live from next week. From Monday, you can join us on Facebook when we stream online. So join everywhere. We're going to be everywhere so that our fans will not miss anything when we talk sports here at Volt FM. Okay, let's start with the FA Cup. The FA Cup is happening this weekend. The quarterfinal of the FA Cup is happening this weekend, and Fulham will play Crystal Palace today, 1:15. The other game happening today is Brighton versus Nottingham Forest in the other quarterfinal game. Tomorrow is Preston versus Aston Villa. Preston is only non-Premier League club that still remains in this FA Cup. Let's hope their miracle will continue till the end of the season. Probably they win that cup by miracle. The other game, the last game happened in the FA Cup is Bournemouth versus Manchester City in the last game. That one is happening tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Okay, let's start today's fixtures. The first game is Fulham versus Crystal Palace. It's going to be a huge game because two of our Nigerian brothers are playing in that game. That Iwobi and Basi playing that. So I think we are going to supporting Fulham to win today.
And let's not forget that Crystal Palace, they have a very cheesy. So 3 actually.
They play
for Nigeria.
They play for England.
It doesn't mean, man. Is he of African descent? Yes, he is. So whether he's playing for us or not, it's our failures in the NFF and recruitment that has led to this.
Okay, let's say if you are talking about players with African descent, the whole Crystal Palace team, African descent,
let's stay with it.
So I'm just saying. Crystal Palace have got a good side. They've got a good manager that could galvanize the team together. And same as Fulham, though. But me, they look at your previous record, not the current record. And me, for that previous record, but Marco Silva is not my guy. And for this record with this man and his previous record, he's doing the good job. What's it called? John is doing the good job at Crystal Palace. While Marco Silva, in his previous record, did not do a good job. But this season, he's doing a good job at Fulham. I won't take that away from him. So it's not up to the two managers to know who is tactically sound to get this one off the line.
For me, I would like to differ. Both managers are fantastic, but you can't say anything against Marco Silva. In this encounter, I see Fulham going through just because of the quality of side they have. You look at the capacity in the midfield, you look at the ability of the players, and then who wants it more? I think Fulham deserve a shot at the semi-finals.
Why do you think they deserve it?
You say quality of side they have, same as Crystal Palace. Same as Palace, they have a quality of squad in the side. They have the energetic players. They have and the thing is they play physical football. If you see Crystal Palace play, they're just energetic and fast. They are physical as well. Right? And this is one thing that is missing in the Fulham setup. They are fast, they are technical, and
but the problem with the Crystal Palace side now is that not lack of finishers. It's actually the defense because since this guy who left and went back to Chelsea, just Gay in that side and the other man is not as strong as with him in the side.
They also learned to score more goals. It's just it's about scoring. It's like the Real Madrid we talk about. You score me, I score you more. You know,
I don't
Crystal
believe in
Palace
that philosophy.
and
though.
Crystal Palace have scored more goals, and though they concede more goals, but they
They
score more
concede
goals.
more. Look at Fulham, they concede less.
And I can't talk about the Fulham defense, but I know they concede more goals as well, and they've been losing. I think it was the time they played 6 matches and only won 2 of it. And even before their last, if you look at the head of next this season, I think Crystal Palace had a better chance of winning over this one.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. It's Fulham versus Crystal Palace, 1:15 p.m. That's the time of the kick of the first quarter final of this FA Cup. Emirates FA Cup, they call it the Emirates FA Cup these days. But we still know it as the FA Cup. So let's see if our brothers can move to the semi-final of that game. I think I'm supporting Fulham today. I don't know why, but I'm going to support. Maybe
As a no win for against these people, then they want to win Fulham.
Well, club is always different. So I noticed that some people, there's this debate on the internet that why are some clubs, like when they go to the national team, they play like you see them play well. When they come back to their club, they are not really that good, or they are not really the kind of performance they see in the national team. They don't see the, and it's vice versa too. Some players play well in the club. When they go to their national team, they don't play well. Just they are actually,
I know you're winking bombastically at somebody on the front.
yes, actually looking at Fernandes. People were complaining that the way Fernandes plays for Argentina is different when he comes back to Chelsea. So Chelsea fans was complaining about it, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's about the team. Most times, depending with team.
Thank you, because
play with.
the structure, the process, the instructions, the way they play is not the same. So you can't expect the same output.
Different team is different instructions from the coach, different style of play. Because I can't have a Fernandes and a McAllister in midfield, and I'm expecting him to play defensive.
That's the thing.
And you know, behind them or alongside them, there's a Rodrigo De Paul. So who is going to defend? Who is going to attack? Who is going to hold on to the play? These 3 players are good on the ball. Then in Chelsea, you have a Caicedo who just tackles the ball, gets the this thing. Pass it to Fernandes. Fernandes will not try his best, then move it on to Palmer. So in this game, you see that in the 3 setup or the 2 setup, they have 2 different types of players.
And then talking about the guy, you didn't mention his name. He will be placed freely from that flank. It's only when he comes to Nigeria we'll carry him and come and put.
He plays freely from the midfield. He can roam around.
Well, if you look at, well, it depends on how you want to see it though, but it's what it is.
I think we still need a very solid DM to back Ndidi up and free these guys up to go forward, because this pairing Iwobi and Ndidi, it didn't work.
Maybe Bruno, what's called Rafael Onyedika.
Yeah, somebody that at least a box to box along Wilfred. Let Wilfred play the box to box. Mobilize the team, okay, and then Iwobi has the freedom to do what he needs to do.
Let's see what happens, because Fulham is going to play in Crystal Palace today, 1:15. Okay, the second game happening today, the second quarter final is Brighton versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are the surprise of the season when it comes to the Premier League. They are still third, about 7 points or so, of more than 5 points behind 4 points on Chelsea. If they continue, I think there's 9 games to go, 9 or 8. I think 9 games to go. If they just didn't win their 5 games out of 9, there's no way Chelsea is going to win 9 out of 9. So it's impossible. So they just need to win 5 out of 9, and they play the Champions League next season, which is going to be a good thing.
And they will win the Champions League next season.
Calm down for that one. They are playing Brighton.
Aston Villa never win, and Nottingham Forest.
They have done before now, 2 in a row, back to back.
Wow.
But let's stay with this game, the FA Cup game. Brighton are a strong side. They play good football. I think in the couple of weeks ago they considered 7 in a particular game. Who scored them that season?
Nottingham lose 5-0.
Give them
the best.
So they are playing again. And what do you expect in this game? Brighton to do well as normal they used to play well, or for Nottingham Forest to keep surprising us this season?
So far as you have Karu Mitoma on your side, you have Angel Pedro, you have Adingra, you are going and getting
those players say you call now, they do when they collect 7. No?
It not concern me. If you look at the stats, you will see that Karu Mitoma has the highest distance covered dribbling. He has the highest output and performance from dribbling in the Premier League. Now he's leading 2 other players in the Premier League. Then thirdly, Karu Mitoma has this ability to control the ball with 1 touch and shoot in that same touch. Shey, you get me? So going into this game against Nottingham Forest defense, I'm saying it now, against that Nottingham Forest defense, expect goals today. And let's not forget that they have the old guard up front as well. Talking about Danny Welbeck. So this is a good encounter for the neutrals like myself, because I can't come and kill myself. I want to see Brighton win and knock out Nottingham Forest.
Danny Welbeck, Joao Pedro, Mitoma,
yes,
Adingra, Yakubu Minte, all these people are the attack when they get away.
Yes.
Then they have the Jorginho.
They have men.
Ruta from the bench. You want to call the full lineup? Fine, you can call the full lineup. I only give you one name, though he's not available for this one now. Hudson Odoi, Anthony Elanga. These two players can cause these two players can just sit on the break, and that's the end of the game. Because I feel like no matter it doesn't matter how we call the names of star players of the other team, these players are available when they were hit when they were being knocked 7-0 in the Premier League. Now the Premier League is not the FA Cup, so they would expect a much better performance in this game. But I still feel like going into this particular game, Nottingham Forest has the upper hand because they have the quality of squad, they have the endurance.
I disagree.
90 minutes. And 90 minutes is what counts, not 70 minutes of football. Not towards the end of football, let's run around. Not after 20 minutes to start running. You notice there are some times in the season when Nottingham Forest, from the first whistle, they get their goal. I think Nottingham Forest and Brentford, in the first 5 minutes, they've gotten a goal.
Go look at all the games they've lost this season. Go look at all the performances where they survived a draw by a draw. You will see how they lost, how they survived that draw. And you come back and tell me that Brighton have what it takes to put them to the sword.
I'm not going to tell you that Brighton does not have what it takes.
So what are we talking about?
I'm still going to tell you that Brighton does not have what it takes. Because you need to run 90 minutes. And Brighton has every firepower in their side. Yes, I agree. Brighton has the pace. Yes, I agree. But not when I am sitting.
Please, who is scoring for Nottingham Forest?
Man, they've got men. And again, since you are supporting Nigerians supporting Nigerians, they've got Nigerians. They've got Nigerians in the side. So I'm just saying, no matter how you run around, no matter how you create your chances, you have the pace, you have the energy to run around. I just have to conserve and hit on the break and get one goal, and I'm okay.
Simple. Well, that is okay for you.
That is the KPI for Nottingham Forest, and they've handled the second place position.
Escape and with a 1-goal win.
Normally they score 2 or 3 goals.
Bro, in this encounter, you're not going to see those chances.
They will not see the chances.
They will not see those chances.
Time no plenty again.
No worry. Now we'll go watch the game.
I think we will see. I'll hear you talk about how what will be on Monday. I'll hear you talk about how they almost did it but didn't do it. Because I feel like Nottingham Forest is one of the best teams of the season.
Nottingham Forest have not lost to Brighton this season. The 2 times they played in the Premier League, they beat them 7-0, and the other game they played a 2-2 draw. So they are the
odds. This is not the Premier League.
Yes, the odds, but the odds are in their favor. But let's see if it's going to happen for them today. Okay, let's move on to tomorrow quarterfinal. Preston versus Aston Villa. Everybody expected Aston Villa to qualify, but Preston can surprise us, because this is why I like the FA Cup. There's every season you have one team that will probably reach the quarterfinals and semi-final, but they don't win it. But there is always the one magic club. But this time it's Preston. But this game against Aston Villa, everybody expected Aston Villa to win this game.
I thought everybody was saying it was Plymouth Argyle. Also, why are you awfully quiet here? Why are you awfully quiet here, man?
The mic is, the floor is
yours. You said it was Plymouth Argyle when they knocked Liverpool out, and then they said they were going to knock City out. How market, how far? Now it's now Preston. Please, I am not on that bandwagon, okay? This game, look at the merits, look at the players, look at the setup. I know it's the FA Cup, but Unai Emery has been around this terrace way too long to come and lose to Preston. No way. No way. Unai Emery wins and goes to the semi-finals.
And are you expecting a shock today?
Me, I'm always not holding up to a shock. A shock are here and there. Is football is 11 against 11. It depends on now how tactically smart your team is, or how intelligent the coach is. Tactically smart coach on the sidelines, or the players who see that, okay, the tactics the coach gave us is not working. Let's put player performance, like Audrey to join. He says individual brilliance or player brilliance.
Make a plan, expect it to fail, and throw away the plan.
That kind of thing for Aston Villa. But I feel like Preston has a game plan, which is sit deep, counter, score your goal, and continue to sit deep.
Who won counter Villa?
Because you're not. Man, they've got fast
players.
Bro,
who won counter Villa?
They've got fast players.
Do you know who Villa has?
They've got fast players.
No.
Wait, if you're talking about the
Forget
defense,
about Konsa, I'm not talking about defense. Do you know who Villa has?
Villa has players.
Villa has Rashford. Villa has
Leave Rashford.
Wait.
Leave Rashford.
This
Asensio.
yes. Villa have Asensio. Yes.
Malen.
Morgan Rogers. What are we saying, man?
Leon Bailey. Those are fast attackers. And once they lose the ball, you see them walking backwards.
Bro, look at the defense. Look at the defense.
What do you want to call in the defense? Tryon Mings and Konsa. Then the guy the guy that his name sounds like a doorbell.
Wow.
You call those players, and I'm telling you that when they hit on the break, do they have the pace to catch up? The players that have the pace to catch up are the attackers. The attackers and the midfielders probably. And you talk about the midfielders, you're talking about Telemans, Onana, and who else is there? Kamara and the rest of them. Does these players have the pace? If I hit on the break, do they have the pace to catch up?
What are we saying?
Now we say they can cover the spaces, so this person side can hit on the break. You get, they can cover the spaces, so person cannot hit on the break. But when they hit on the break and they see that chance to hit on the break, what happens then? Who catches up with them?
See, I like the analogy you're giving, but let's go pound for pound now. Let's say this is boxing, right? And you have these guys up forward. Yes. Now TKO be this one.
You know reach TKO.
Now TKO be
You know
this
reach
one.
TKO
Flawless
because
victory.
you're crossing the ball into no man's land where you have just one striker standing in between 7 players.
Okay, let's see what happens in that FA Cup game. But if you look at the history of both teams in the FA Cup, both of them have met since they have started playing. I think last time they played a Premier League game, I think it's been a while they have played any Premier League game. They have been in the Premier League, so it's going to be tough for them. Preston have won just one game in the last 15 minutes meetings with Aston Villa. Just one game out of 15 they have played Aston Villa, won one game. So let's see if probably they can win another one. The last time first time they played the quarterfinal in the Premier League in the FA Cup was 1965. It's very, very long time. So they have another chance to move to the semi-final for the first time in the club career. But let's see if they are going to do it. I guess Aston Villa tomorrow. Okay, finally in the FA Cup, it was the final game is Bournemouth versus Manchester City. Manchester City should be winning this game because this is the only trophy they can win this season. Remember, Pep has been this season has been very, very bad for him. Like it has been terrible season for Pep Guardiola. Now they play Bournemouth in this quarterfinal game. What do you think, John? They can win this game?
Yeah, before I answer your question, I want to receive an apology. You said this is the only trophy we can win this season.
Yes.
What happened to the Club World Cup, man?
That one
summer. That's summer.
It don't concern me. It don't concern me. That one na pure badele. It no concern me. We have the FA Cup. We have the Club World Cup. We are winning both, and anybody can go and cry. Simple. I will not stand for that. Yes. We are winning the FA Cup. We are winning the Club World Cup. That's two.
You're not going to win the election if it's a campaign.
Don't worry, it's fine.
It's not your campaign speech. You're not going to win the election.
It's fine.
Because
see, it's okay.
Because you look at the quality of team that is in the World Cup and the performance level of Man City this season. Just use your hand, check Man City out for the first round. You know, need to talk plenty.
By the way, the star boy is on his way back.
Use your hand, check Man City.
And he will play in that tournament.
Which star boy?
And he will win that tournament.
Which tournament? Which star boy?
Don't worry.
The star boy plenty. And Agula na another star boy. I mean, man another star boy. Okay, Saka na star boy. More they can't star boys.
Saka no they go that tournament.
The thing I say they go. More they call star boys. Star boys they go play.
Saka no they go that. So no call local boys.
Lotaro Martinez.
No call local boys.
So leave Man City World Cup.
Let's stay with this one.
For English season, for the English footballing season,
it ends in June
after the Champions League final.
And that's when the tournament is starting, so I count it as part of the season.
The season ends with every footballing season ends with the Champions League final. Then any other thing is pre-season. You get? And according to this season, Champions League final waiting for May or June. Man City not there.
If that Champions League final is in June, then the season has not ended.
Season not end. The season not end. Champions League final at the season now where they cap
There is
the
no
season.
law anywhere
You
that
get?
says the season ends
With
with
the Champions League final. Yes,
There's
check
no
the
law.
record.
There's no
And
law.
Okay,
And with
let's
this
continue with this.
FA
The
Cup,
bottom line is
With
is
this FA
two
Cup-
two trophies, a
Mm.
double this year.
let's wait and see.
It's fine.
June and July no far. In this game now, you get wetin Iraola talk. Me I don't mispronounce him name, I know more than name. Iraola said something in the press last night, and I think I'm beginning to see reasons why. He said it's a big side, it's a tough side, it's a very tough opponent, but the results they've gotten on the pitch, the result Man City has gotten on the pitch does not tell the story, and you cannot use that result to judge what their performance in this game is going to be like. Now, this is a man that knows how to psych.
I will not be bamboozled by that.
This is a man that knows how to psych the opposition coach. He said the result is not what we expect, but you cannot use the results to judge the next performance, which means this man knows what Man City can do. He knows that there's always going to be this cutting edge from Man City side to just come in and get a win either ways. So he's going to try his best, and giving Pep all the credit and all the plaudits, he's going to try his best to know where to stop Man City and get the result for his team.
Okay, John, what do you think will happen in this game? He's been talking about Kushanov in his press conference that he's going to be, he's fast, he's brilliant, but I think they're still having this language barrier. But soon he will learn. He's a young boy.
I'm just happy about the Kushanov signing. I'm also happy about the Victor Reich signing. And then we have Echeverra coming back into the side. So young boys coming back into the side. I'm happy about that. This guy that broke his leg, I'm really livid about that. But hopefully he's going to be back soon. For me, you don't need an Urim and Turim to know what I'm going to say. You don't need to go and consult an oracle, right? It's a win.
A blowout.
Simple and short.
Blowout to the market again.
Now yourself, you bait. You are baiting yourself, but it's a win.
Okay.
Blowout to the market again. They don't sell and finish your market. You don't empty for store.
When last you blow person out?
Me?
Have you ever blown any person out?
I know say I'm going into the season.
And so humbly
Wait,
don't use that word with
if I'm going into
without the
any
proper
match
levity.
now, if I'm going into any match, me I know is 1-0 win,
Or
2-0
loss.
win, or draw. Then
Or
if I
loss.
lose, I'll go back and do my assignment and come back for the next game. So it's not me in the FA Cup that I'm out since like the third round or so. You in the FA Cup, is it a blowout? Yes or no? You know blowout again.
Well,
You are playing cold.
It's a win.
You are playing in.
QED.
Okay. Bournemouth have won Man City this season already. Let's see if they can repeat that game tomorrow. But for Man City, Pep Guardiola will try and do everything possible for him to win, even if it's the FA Cup this season. I think they should win it. His Pep he hardly go a season without winning a trophy. He hardly go. I think it once it happened in his career, the first season at Manchester City. He did not win anything. That's the only time he did not win anything in his club career. But he has always won wherever he has gone. Every season he has taken since he took over Barcelona. But let's see if he's going to win the FA Cup. But they play Bournemouth tomorrow. Let's see who wins in that game. Okay, let's move away from the FA Cup and talk about the La Liga. Remember, Barcelona played on Thursday, winning that game against Osasuna 3-0. They play tomorrow again. They have been complaining that they are not machines and all that. But football now is business. Everybody, they want to drive because they pay them a whole lot of money. So they want to collect every money. And it's a whole lot of football this season. If you look imagine you are playing the Champions League, you are playing the Copa del Rey, you are playing
expanded Champions League, not the regular one.
They have to now, after this one, have to play the Club World Cup.
Yes.
Imagine then English team have to play FA Cup and play the Carabao Cup. So English will play more.
Yes.
So it's a whole lot of games. But let's stay with the La Liga. For today's fixtures is Real Sociedad, who is going to be playing first game. This will play Valladolid. Then Espanyol will play Atletico Madrid. Alaves will play Rayo Vallecano. Real Madrid will play Leganes for the last game of today. For tomorrow, okay, let's talk about today's game. If you look at Atletico are the team that is probably looking to challenge for that league. But they sit pretty third, but they have been losing games recently. And at some point, they went 10 games unbeaten, so they were topping. Suddenly, they started losing game. Even though they have lost the same amount of game with Real Madrid this season, they are just 4 points behind Real Madrid and 7 points against Barcelona. But they need to beat Espanyol for them to have a chance to win the La Liga this season.
Of course, one of the most heartbreaking things about this season's La Liga is that the teams that should be chasing find themselves falling short when it matters most. It's allowed for you to take a loss as long as your compatriots that you are pursuing this league with also lose, is you get an off, or even if they draw, like the last time Bayern Munich took a draw, Bayern Munich lost, but
Yeah, just a
Leverkusen
draw.
drew. Yes, so it wasn't that bad, but you can escape that one. But when the opponents win, you should at least also win, so that you maintain that touching distance. If we are seeing it happen in the Serie A, where Atalanta is falling leagues away from the guys at the top, and then in the La Liga, I feel a bit angry about that. I also think that they need to look at the games, because if you look at what's happening this season, a lot of players are not getting injured, but a lot of players are suffering from fatigue. Players that play in week out are not able to play the full 90 minutes and still maintain that firm fitness. We all talk about Kante, about his strength, how he can run for 120 minutes, but trust me, this season, if Kante had played all the games in the Premier League or in any other league this season, if I don't faint, so clubs may need to expand their teams to cope, but it is what it
The
is.
thing is, we are not going to blame the clubs, because even the coaches self, you see every week, like
No, but look at it now. Champions League was expanded.
Now look
Europa
at look at
and
it now.
Conference League as well.
There's something I wanted to tell you. That I was somewhere the other day and we had a debate. That why is it that as they keep increasing the number of competitions being played, why are club numbers not? And I'm like, okay, fine. And I think it was in this year I said the smaller clubs cannot catch up, because they need to increase the
Of
number
course.
of the squad
They
depth
can't
as
catch
well.
up.
Now, if you're increasing your squad depth, I remember the season where we were fighting Wanderers. I still remember that season properly. I think 2018-20, between 2018 to 2020, when we were fighting Wanderers went to the Europa League with just 20 men. You were playing Europa League playoffs, and I think the season started in June, when they started the preliminary stage of the playoffs of the Europa League qualifiers. Now, you played that stage, you started in June, and you had just 20 men in your team, and you were playing the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Premier League, and the Europa League, and you went to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, went to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, played the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, played the Premier League 38 games with just 20 men. If they had the budget, if they had the finance, they would have had first 11 and second 11, and they'll say, okay, fine, this second 11 should go and play Carabao Cup, this other 11 should go and play FA Cup.
Smaller teams can't keep up.
But the smaller teams can't keep up. So I feel like in this scenario now, if the big teams that are complaining, if they can just lighten the weight, let the certain players shuffle the team around. And that's where shuffling comes in. You shuffle your team. That's why you need to have quality. Not just having a team like Chelsea that you have 70 players. No, I'm saying it. Not just having 70 players on the stands. You have quality. So when you take out any player from the team, you will not miss his presence. And that's something Arsenal is missing right now. That's something some other teams are missing right now. Man United, for example, Arsenal, for example, even Chelsea, they have the quality, the quantity. Yeah. They don't have the quality. And it becomes a problem, because we're talking about Barcelona, who played just on Thursday. And I think the same thing happened to Real Madrid before they played the Villarreal game. And they complained, and everybody said they were crybabies. Now Barcelona is doing the same thing, and nobody should. So I feel like if you have the quantity without the quality, you will be affected by your starting 11. You'll be affected by the number of players you put out on the pitch. When you have the quantity and the quality
as well too within the season.
When you have quality and the quantity, both quality and quantity on your bench, you're not going to suffer from this fixture congestion. So I just feel like teams should go out there, get quality. Okay. But it's not quality, not on the market again, because anybody get quality now go on holding quality.
Yeah, but quality still the market, because some people's contracts are running out in a year. And so you can poach.
Some people are going and living for free this season.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Real Madrid. Real Madrid is playing today. Leganes, they are playing by 9 p.m. Leganes. They need to win this game if they need to have a chance to win this La Liga. They are 3 points behind Barcelona. And Mbappe has scored 20 La Liga goals. He's been scoring goals, scored more than Vini, scored more than everybody in that Real Madrid team. But they should be winning Leganes in this game.
I wouldn't bank on that too, because and this is not bad belly. I'm just saying that this is La Liga. This is not the Premier League. If it's Premier League, let's say Chelsea is playing Brighton, we know what to expect.
You don't know what to expect, though.
You know what to expect.
You don't know what to expect. Brighton will win.
It's because it's this Chelsea. Now, if it's the real Chelsea.
Even before Chelsea, Brighton is going to fight and get the result.
In this encounter, Leganes, there are teams in this La Liga that their sole ambition is a scalp of Real Madrid, and their season is fine. You understand me? They balance the books, they keep the fan happy with 1 or 2 signing, they sell 1 or 2 players to make money, and then they beat a Madrid or an FCB, and they won
and they draw
the La Liga. They are good. So it could be this type of team. So they just need to ensure that they take it with the levity it requires because they are chasing FCB now. So you can't come in and say this we are going to ghost these guys. We'll come in here, we'll play at 50% and walk away with a win. You have to be present, you have to put in the best.
Okay, now so what do you think will happen in the game? Real Madrid to win?
Definitely Real Madrid to win. Lewandowski scored the goal in the last game and went 3 goals ahead of Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
Now he wants to cover up that gap.
So
First season,
hat-trick
not really. Even if he scores hat-trick and tomorrow Lewandowski scores a hat-trick, it's still the same thing.
Lewandowski should just win this Pichichi, I beg.
So it's tough to say because this guy has been highly criticized in the La Liga, and since 2025 he's been scoring goals left, center, middle, and right and everywhere. And Real Madrid team have been picking up points. Though they have the injury crisis, but they keep picking up points when they need to pick up the points. And I think it's a good one for the team. So against this Leganés side, it's just going to be a walkover.
Okay, let's see what happens. Real Madrid will play Leganés in the final game of today in the La Liga 9 p.m. For tomorrow's fixtures, Getafe will play Villarreal. Barcelona will play again after playing on Thursday. Girona by 15 minutes after 3. Then Valencia will play Mallorca. Atletico Club will play Osasuna. Then Real Betis will play Villarreal.
Yeah.
Sevilla, they play Sevilla in the final game for tomorrow. On Monday, Celta Vigo will play Las Palmas in the final round of that La Liga game. Okay, Barcelona will play Girona after trashing Osasuna 3-0. It was a comfortable win, even though some of their players didn't arrive early. Some they are played on Tuesday and on Monday, and they have to play on Thursday. But I think they need to keep winning. No complaints, because you can complain all you want, but at the end of the day, you need all 3 points.
Of course. You can't complain. You have to just go out there and keep doing the job. That's the thing, because, that's why players train. So that on the days where you don't feel like it, muscle memory kicks in and you come out and you have a good game. So it's not an excuse anymore. And if you are going to be a champion, the mentality shift has to happen. Mental toughness has to come in. So in this encounter, I'm just looking out for the best team to show on the day.
Now, so what do you expect to happen for Barcelona to win again? They have scored more goals than anybody in that La Liga.
Yes.
I think when it comes to scoring goals, everybody should leave it for them.
But the level will happen tomorrow. Girona have less possibility of winning that game. Everybody has written Girona off already. But they have everything it takes to score some goals and defend and get the result they need. Just like last season, when we saw them play last season, getting points from the big teams, getting points from everywhere, and qualifying for the Champions League, only to go and disgrace their ancestors there. But all the same, going into this game now, they have everything they need to get the results over the line. But it's going to be tough, because they're playing against a Barcelona side who everybody knows are firing on all cylinders, who plays a high line, who does everything proper, who does everything good to get the result. And everything they will do anything everything to just get the result over the line. But I think Girona should also learn to do anything and everything to get the result and get into this game and perhaps get the points they need in this one.
You can aspire to Maguire all you want, but Barcelona is going to give them a blowout. Keep reading.
Girona 1-0. Just one.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. It's La Liga, three teams trying to win that La Liga. I have to have Atletico, because anything can happen in 9 games.
Course.
Anything can happen. So Atletico
9 games, 7 points.
Atletico can decide to win all of their 9 games, and hopefully others will drop points, but it's going to be tough for them. But let's see what happens in that La Liga. Let's see who wins it by the end of the season. Okay, let's quickly move on to Serie A before we start taking calls. Fixtures in Serie A: Venezia will play Bologna, Como will play Empoli, Juventus will play Genoa. Juventus have sacked their coach Motta after doing everything to bring him from Bologna. They sacked him.
It's sad to see. Same with the Dan Ashworth's case a few months earlier. You pay over 20 billion to take this guy on gardening leave. You pull him out of the Newcastle setup, get him in on the job, and 3 months or 4 months later, you let the man go.
Lecce will play Roma, Cagliari will play Monza, Fiorentina will play Luxman, Atlanta in that game tomorrow. Inter will play Udinese. Then the big one is Napoli will play AC Milan. That is going to be interesting. Okay, let's talk about the big boys. First, Inter Milan and Udinese. Inter probably have, I won't say they have the right to win this year at this season, but they are almost the favorite.
They are the incumbents, and they
are defending champions.
Defending champions, and they should.
They are doing back to back, and they'll do another to back and another to back. They'll do 4 in a row, and everybody will calm down small. But this season, going against Udinese, I don't think Udinese has anything. They have the squad, they have the 11 players. Now 11 players they count now. They have 11 players, they have everything. But this Inter Milan side, I think there's something wrong with this setup that people have not really seen how to exploit. You get in just in few games that we saw proper teams exploit them, which is that team in their strongholds, close them down. They're in that wing back position. Just find somebody that could make those runs behind those wing backs and get into the defense line, and maybe or somebody running through the defense. Then you can exploit them that way. If not, with that 3 at the back and their 4 wing backs and everything, they are getting the results. They are getting everything they play for. They are getting the result, and they are going forward to score more goals and get a win.
Yeah, they have one of the best defensive structures
So they have
in Europe.
in Europe this season, and in the Champions League, we're talking about it in the Champions League. I think it was them and Liverpool that had one of the best defensive records in the Champions League. Now, in the league, you see them going. I think the only thing they lost, the only team that is still unbeaten in the league so far this season in Europe top 5 is PSG. But if you see Inter Milan play, you feel like the games they lost, they shouldn't have lost it.
Okay, John, and Napoli will play AC Milan in the other big game happening tomorrow. Napoli is Conte came there. He's trying to win the league in his first try, but it's going to be tough because Inter Milan are a stable team.
Yes,
but he is building. Inter is stable, so I understand that he's doing well. Second on the table in his first season in charge. I think he's doing well. But playing AC Milan that have not really done well in a couple of seasons now. What do you think will happen in that game?
you know, this is one of the biggest litmus tests for what's his name now?
Conte.
Yes, one of the biggest litmus tests for him, because you are already 3 points behind the champions, and you are still in the hunt, right? So you need to categorically show us that you are a better contender, and you have to win games like AC Milan. Win games when
AC Milan a normal team now.
No, it's not a normal team.
This season, if you win AC Milan a normal team.
See, forget that team. This AC Milan you are writing off. On the night, they can turn up and put these guys to the sword. This AC Milan you are describing.
Nobody's writing AC Milan off. I'm just saying this season, playing against AC Milan is like playing against Man United. You don't know what to expect. It's like playing against Man United. You don't know what to expect. You don't know whether they will turn up or they will just be normal flat. You get? You're not expecting AC Milan to just come up and wow us. No.
They don't need to wow. They just need to do that thing you said against Preston. Sit back and hit on the brake.
And AC Milan don't sit back. That's the thing. They want to play offensive football. Even the new man that comes in plays an offensive football. Look at the way he plays. He doesn't play defensive. He doesn't play conservative football. He's offensive, but yet his players don't know how to score goals. So what's the use of playing offensive football, leaving those room to be exploited in the defense and not score the goals? At least the former person that was there, I think for Senka that was there before, he scored goals. He allowed them come back into the game, I think, and still outscore him. That's just the problem with Fosenka. You're playing an offensive football, but you allow your position to outscore you. And this man came in, I think there was a game between him and Bologna. He was winning 1-0. And I felt like, okay, fine, AC Milan is winning this game. All of a sudden, Bologna did the comeback against AC Milan. Bologna of all people. And it was not just one game. It was 2 games in a row where smaller teams did a comeback against AC Milan. So you're trying to score goals, you're trying to play offensive football, and you let those openings in the back or those crack walls affect your team. So I think that's one thing Napoli will be looking to exploit in this game.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. It's going to be a hot race in this Serie A games. Let's see who's going to win it come end of the season. It's basically between Inter Milan and Napoli now. Atlanta is a little bit off the title race, but anything can happen in the remaining 10 games that is remaining. So let's see what happens in that game. Before we start taking focus on your prediction about today's game, yesterday Boniface scored for Bayer Leverkusen for them to win that game 3-1. He scored the second goal of that game in the 60th minute. Good game for they needed the win because they need to close the gap. Everybody know I don't know. Bayern Munich should be winning this league based on the performance, based on their Bayern Munich, they are winning games. And this Bayern Leverkusen has done well last season. This season they are still second. Alonso has built a better team, but Boniface scoring goals is good for him, good for his confidence, because he needed that goal. Yeah,
he needed the goal. You know, from the issue with the crash to the issue with him being benched and replaced by Patrick Schick, and then him being out of the squad for a couple of times, and then secondly, the fact that he didn't even get any minutes. Okay, he got some minutes in the second game. Yeah. You know, it somehow, but I want to see, it's hurtful when you see Boniface go and score for Leverkusen. And then when it comes to Niger, we don't get any goals from the guy. At least going back the last 3-4 games. But, it's fine. Good one for him. Hopefully he can push on. It's always a poor thing when you get frozen out by the manager. Even sometimes you don't know why. She understand me. So, but it's good to see him score. It's good to see him back in the team.
There were rumors that he was being charged for disciplinary actions, and now I think he's in the manager's good books. That's why he's starting this game. And you score, you tell your manager, "Oh, I'm back on the team. I'm sorry for what I did. I want to keep playing for you." And I think that's just the message he sent to the manager right now.
Okay, Bayern Munich will play St. Pauli this today. If they win that game, they will extend that lead, because after Bayern Leverkusen have played more games now, one more game, because they played first, they have 59 points. Bayern have 62 points. That's 3 points behind Bayern Munich. If Bayern Munich wins today, it becomes 6 points a game. So it's going to be tough. I think they have about 9 games actually for them to end that Bundesliga, because they don't play 38 games, they play 36 games in that league. So Bayern Munich has the chance to win. And Kane, the highest goal scorer in that Bundesliga, have the chance to win his first league title. His first trophy in his career.
Yes, so, and I'm backing him to win it.
I'm backing him too. But
that 6 points will come out. They go draw today.
Let's see what happens.
They go draw.
Let's see what happens in today's game. Okay, on our YouTube channel, we have somebody joining us today. Football Arcade 098. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
He said Bournemouth to win. Bournemouth to win the FA Cup.
Football Arcade.
I like you. Football Arcade is also saying they are better than all the teams in the FA Cup. He's predicting that Bournemouth will win City 2-1.
I'd like to see that.
Hi, welcome to the show, Football Arcade. We can see you. Welcome to the show. Thank you for that prediction. He's predicting that Bournemouth will win Manchester City 2-1. Okay, that's all for the Bundesliga. Again, let's take phone calls and get your prediction, especially about the FA Cup happening this weekend. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Call us and tell us your prediction about today's game or any game happening everywhere in Europe. Okay, there's the news coming out from Brazil. Brazil has just sacked their coach.
Yes.
After losing 4-1 against Argentina. I think it's a pride thing. It's like
it's an ego team. Nothing you will tell me.
Bro,
it's an ego team.
They are angry.
Why will you come to the press and you start using swear words, you start talking big, you start doing all this gallivanting, you are just showing yourself. And the pride goeth before a fall. I said it. On the day now, they hold you with one hand, knock you waiting no good.
Okay. You know, we say pride goeth before a fall, and I'm not going to say it's because of just this one game. I won't fault it to this one game. Look at Brazil's record. The record so far since the Copa America to the World Cup qualifiers.
Why didn't they sack him after that tournament? Why did they wait till now?
You know, when you get a result and you feel like, okay, fine, there's still going to be improvement. There's still time before the World Cup. There's still going to be improvement. And yet the performance level keeps going down. If it was going up or if it was in the middle, you say, okay, fine, you are still stagnant. You're still trying to break through. But the performance level kept going down. When every month you're selecting players, you're selecting the worst of them all. You're selecting the ones that won't even wash the shoes. That won't even come close to who used to wash the shoes.
I want to give you an analogy, right? Remember Shelby in that scene? What was he giving? He was giving a blank check by a company. See, whatever is going to take to get us to win these people in the Le Mans, do it and get it done. This guy,
he went in to bring in the person he trusted and a mechanic. Remember, the person he brought in that movie was a mechanic.
Yes.
His friend.
Yes.
That he knows can do it, that can communicate with engines. Now, for you to build a team that could compete, you need to get in the players you trust. And this man, from the players he trusted, he kept going down the pecking order. Just like that. You can't keep going down the pecking order. You only go up. And look at Shelby, started from the least person on his list to the very first person on his list.
I don't even know what people are talking about.
He wants to quote a movie.
Let's take the reality, because most people don't have I've not even watched.
No, I'm just saying you go from the least person on your list to the top person on your list. So when you come, you see like I even have Inspector did it at some point in another movie. He said you're like the third person on my list. You're the third person I'm coming to. So when you go to the third person you're coming to, it means the third person you're actually going to is the best person for you. So I feel like you go up the ladder, not down the ladder. And for Brazil in this under this man, he has gone down. He has gone way too down.
But the guys at the top won't play with their full chest. What do you expect him to do? What do you expect him to do when the big names that you guys are crucifying him for are not playing? He benches them. Is a story. At a point in time, I would have resigned. I wouldn't have waited for them to let me go.
Okay, no, why did this person start off the bench? Rafinha, why did he start off the bench in that game?
I think Rafinha started the game. He didn't start off the bench. He started that game.
See, I will just tell you that. Let's see. It's fine. They say that everything rises and falls. Everything rises and falls on leadership, right? I get that point too. But you cannot emasculate a leader and give him a rebellious crowd and still judge him for the rebellion. If you want to get the result, unchain that man. Let him do the change comes through disruption.
The interesting thing about this thing, they are going to look for Ancelotti again. They tried him last season, it did not work.
The number they are dialing does not exist.
They're going to try him again this season, and let's see if he's going to move to Brazil, because they have let go their coach and they are probably looking for Ancelotti. If Ancelotti will not quit, if they say he decides to retire with Real Madrid this season, I think if he wins the Champions League, he might retire. But let's see if they can get him in Ancelotti. They have been looking for him for the past couple of years to coach this Brazilian team. Let's see if they're going to succeed. The only other interesting thing that happened in England last season. Okay, finally, let's go to our YouTube, and Footballer Kid is still predicting, saying Villa versus Preston. Say Villa will win 4-1. Okay, let's see if your operation will work out today. Thank you for joining us today. So remember, guys, we are live every day, Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. sharp. We are live here at Volt FM Sports on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. Join us, drop your comments. We'll be reading your comments live here in the studio. The interesting thing that happened yesterday or day before yesterday is that the senior boys of Chelsea lost to the under 21, and it's been trending on social media. Let's talk about
I thought you also saw the other news about the Todd-Bowley whatever civil war in Chelsea, but it's fine.
The interesting one is that when that time the under 21 beat the senior boys at Chelsea, he cancelled their off day and told them to come back to train. They are training. If they can lose to the under 21, imagine what will happen to them with the Premier League. They have 9 games to go. So if are losing to the under 21, it's sad. But Chelsea, I think that Maresca is trying to build something at Chelsea, but they work.
There's a room reserved for them in 9th Avenue if they don't do the things they need to do. I saw that thing as well. It was trending on social media, and then it's not about the result. It's about the mentality. It's about the entitlement. It's about who wanna be. And these under 21s are like, bro, come out of that place. Let me you know how it is now, coach. If I enter this game, I go do like this.
I go do like this. And but actually they did it now.
Oh yeah, but on the day they did it.
Because you're looking at the under 21 who are young, enthusiastic,
and they are hungry, man.
And they are hungry for game time. And you're looking at the Chelsea setup, who are like, now we be our guy, we play. We are the senior men. And you play against the junior boys, and the junior boys telling you that, bro, if care is not taken, I will come off food for your table.
That's the thing.
And they are hungry to take those food off your table, because look at the first team for Chelsea. The defense are not doing their proper job. The midfield is sleeping through games, and they wake up and the attack is just numb. It's not doing anything at all. And you play against an under 21 side who when they train with the first team, they look like they are hungry to get game time. And though we see Chelsea promote one academy graduate put up for first team. The JTs, the JT, John Terry, Mason Mount, Rhys James. These are exceptional stories. You get, and even Konogaras. These are exceptional stories. And you see those kind of. I think all thanks to Lampard that they had more of them during his time. Abraham, Mount, Gallagher.
But that only happened because they had the transfer embargo too. So
you see. Apart from that, if they had for Chelsea to just promote player, put for first team. You get, and for this man now, he's looking at the under 21 and he's like, okay, fine. Todd-Bowley has bought us plenty under 21 players. They are playing for the reserves. Let us test them against the senior team.
That brings back the conversation about the likes of Kane, Chukwuemeka, that they were saying they were going to let go. A lot of all these younger guys. Chelsea was crying for strikers, and while they were crying for strikers, they let go and Lukaku. They let go a couple of other players, and then they let go an Armando Broya. And Armando Broya that is a pure 9. They let him go, and they went and brought who they brought in, and the team is struggling.
On multiple different clubs.
But at least give the man a trial. It's not about fit to the as this season is going now. Did they or did they not try to get somebody in January? So they needed somebody in that position, and clearly it's not working.
Well, they need to just buy a clinical strike. I don't think Brian should be the solution for them. But let's see what happens with Chelsea.
And Nkunku is.
Yeah, Nkunku is the better senior player. I can't compare Nkunku with waiting the guy don't play since he has been playing football. And he's always injured.
See, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Why would you put the Yaya waiting he don't play?
Waiting he don't play. Tell me which club when he don't play well. He's always injured. That's the point. He's always injured. You cannot trust a player that is always going back to the treatment table. After 2 games, they go back. You can't trust that kind of players.
Real Madrid trusted players like that.
It's Real Madrid. This is not Real Madrid.
Chelsea still have James.
See what I'm saying is that a club like Real Madrid can afford to do that because somehow they are
Chelsea still have Chilwell.
Is a Crystal Palace now. It's a Crystal Palace now.
No, but if we are going to say, let's call it as it is. Armando Broya's numbers over his loan spells. Go look at his numbers, man.
It's not the solution. Everybody knows it's not the solution.
It's not a solution, but in a game where you're dying to score goal and your guys up front are not doing anything, you have him on the bench. You could bring him in. Call him back for his loan.
As they call Broya name, I just feel like the
in fact, I feel Chelsea should be given a ban to never sign any young player again for at least the next decade, and then they will learn.
Okay, let's see what happens, especially in the FA Cup today. Let's see if City is going to win the FA Cup. They have to win the Bournemouth to reach the semi-final of that competition. Or let's see if Aston Villa or other games happen in the FA Cup. Let's see who wins it. In the La Liga, let's see if Barcelona, Real Madrid is the title race between 3 and Atletico Madrid. 3 horse race in that La Liga. Let's see who's going to win it. On Monday, we'll come back and talk about all these games that happen throughout this weekend. Sunday we rest. This team will rest. We will be giving you back-to-back content. Back-to-back content. Remember, guys, on Facebook and on Instagram and on TikTok and on YouTube, follow us everywhere on our social media handles at Volt FM Sports. At Volt FM Sports. At all handles, we are the same name everywhere. Just go there, follow us, subscribe to our channel. Or not. They have a lovely weekend. It's going to be a football. Football is back. Let's sit down and enjoy today's football. Bye for now. See you on Monday.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Vote 104.3 FM.
News and politics.
Enugu State Governor has
Gospel.
and let them have the kingdom of God is within people.
This lady is going to be able to come to the
Dalo no debari ekene muni bonjo manje mono una neme ofuma.
Awesome programs exclusively on
Vote 104.